Yo, champs in the making! It's your boy Starmeistr and Luap, aka the Pichu Bros, and welcome to another episode of the Pokemon Chronicles review series. Today, we'll be reviewing episode 14, Journey to the Starting Line. The episode originally aired on October 14th, 2003 in Japan and on August 26, 2006 in the US. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started with a recap. It's another peaceful morning in Pallet Town, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and the Pokemon are happy. But all things change when Kingler is hypnotized by the moving tales of Meryl. This then causes a chain reaction of disasters as Kingler accidentally pinches Phanpy, then Phanpy hits Totodile with Rollout. So this disturbs Snorlax into falling off a hill and straight onto Cyndaquil, triggering Cyndaquil to use Flamethrower, which angers all 30 of Ash's Tauros. In Oak's lab, Tracy reminds Oak to never skip his meal and that a new trainer is coming to the lab to pick up his starter Pokemon today. The English dub even says that the kid is a mayor's son, but this is not the case in the original Japanese dub. Coincidentally, the doorbell rings, and it's Delia and Mr. Mime who are here to bring the herbs requested by Professor Oak. But we all know why Delia's here, duh. So after Tracy spends some quality time with Muk, we see Professor Oak performing his final checks on the starter Pokemon. But as soon as they are happily discussing how the Pokemon are healthy, the horde of Tauros charge straight inside the laboratory, causing the little Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle to escape. And conveniently, the mayor's son arrives, who goes by the name Gilbert. And let's just say that he's not the nicest, nor the most respectful, nor the most lovable kid you'll encounter. A typical spoiled brat, this entitled Gilbert says that he would prefer having a Torchic as his starter Pokemon, saying that Kanto starters are lame. So Tracy gives him a lecture, then Professor Oak even adds that the 3 starter Pokemon are missing. So this causes Gilbert to gloat in joy and decides to settle on a Pikachu instead, saying that he heard about a kid from Pallet Town who started with a Pikachu and has become successful in Pokemon Leagues. So this makes Delia happy hearing good news about his son, but she tells him that Ash's case of choosing Pikachu was a special case. And Gilbert is like, "But I'm special too, I'm the mayor's son." Then he contemplates on choosing a Raichu instead because that way he won't be needing to raise and evolve his Pokemon. So this annoys Tracy greatly and he starts yelling at Gilbert about the true essence of being a Pokemon trainer. Professor Oak calms him down and decides to split up into 2 teams to find a starter Pokemon. Outside, Professor Oak and Gilbert meet an old woman named Masae. Professor Oak tells her how the starter Pokemon ran away and then requests her not to tell anyone about it. And she tells everyone about it.
Yo! What's up, my peppy Pallet Town peeps? The latest word from the street is that baby Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander said see ya to the Oak Lab and took off, and the mayor's son was supposed to pick one of these to be his Pokemon today!
The scene changes to Tracy, Delia, and Mr. Mime as they find Charmander playing with a Magikarp's fin, but the little guy is about to fall into the water. Tracy quickly runs across the water and picks up the struggling Charmander, but then he stumbles as he walks back, so Delia instructs Mr. Mime to use Psychic and bring them back to safety. Like, why didn't you do that in the first place? Why wait for Tracy to get drenched and Charmander potentially risk its life? Anyways, back to Professor Oak, Gilbert, and Ash's Bulbasaur, and they are searching for the Pokemon in the mountains. Gilbert is obviously a scaredy cat and is slowing everyone down. Professor Oak even tells him that he's going to face far scarier places when he becomes a Pokemon trainer, and savagely gives him the option to call it quits and go home. But then they hear a loud cry from up in the tree and it's Squirtle. Squirtle's about to fall, but Gilbert is actually the one who ends up falling first. Lucky for him, the good boy Bulbasaur is there to save him. After Gilbert is saved, Squirtle's just there like, "Hello, have you forgotten about me?" Squirtle also falls off, but Professor Oak catches it and Bulbasaur saves him again with his Vine Whip. Falling down the cliff must have been a traumatic experience for poor Squirtle as it doesn't come outside of its shell. Bulbasaur tries to cheer it up, but to no avail. After reflecting on his experiences today and the lectures given by Professor Oak, Gilbert steps up and tries to make a funny face in front of Squirtle. This actually works out perfectly as Squirtle comes out of its shell and starts playing with Gilbert. The gang meets up and concludes that Bulbasaur is the only one left to be found until Masaya calls for Professor Oak from the radio, saying that there have been reports on Bulbasaur sightings everywhere, including in her vegetable section. A phone then rings that someone found Bulbasaur getting chased by a group of wild Mankey. They go to the specified location and realize that it's actually a group of dangerous Primeape and not Mankey that's chasing after Bulbasaur. Professor Oak tries to distract the Primeape while Mr. Mime grabs Bulbasaur from up on the tree with its sidekick. But then Gilbert, being the troublesome kid that he is, inhales some leaves and sneezes so loudly causing Mr. Mime to lose its concentration. Bulbasaur falls straight onto Primeape's head, triggering the entire group to attack. While running away, Gilbert and little Bulbasaur are separated from the rest of the group. As the Primeape thrashes straight onto them, Gilbert decides to protect Bulbasaur and physically take on the Primeape himself. But Ash's Bulbasaur saves the day and brings Gilbert and little Bulbasaur to the other mountain. Bulbasaur unleashes a powerful solar beam, scaring the Primeape away. We then get the scene of little Bulbasaur showing its affection towards Gilbert, and the boy has decided to pick Bulbasaur as his starter Pokemon. The episode ends with Gilbert thanking Professor Oak and Bulbasaur for everything as he begins his journey from the beginning. And now for our ratings and reviews.
Okay, so I have mixed feelings about this episode. On one hand, Gilbert arguably has the biggest single episode character development in all of Pokemon. It was enjoyable to see him grow from being an entitled, spoiled little brat to a responsible and caring Pokemon trainer. The way he slowly learns from his surroundings and little by little learns to connect with Pokemon was super beautiful to watch. He's easily one of the best written characters in Pokemon Chronicles. Professor Oak and Tracy were great characters too, as we really got to witness their heart and knowledge in protecting and bonding with Pokemon. This episode also had some funny moments, especially with Masae being the queen of gossip and some other savage dialogue. My favorite part about this episode was probably the relationship between Gilbert and Ash's Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur was so cute, making all these adorable facial expressions. But I don't know, I just don't think that this episode was made for me. Despite the good writing, good pacing, and good character portrayal, I just wasn't as entertained as I should have been. It gave me those sleepy vibes from Showdown at the Oak Corral, but unlike that episode where everyone was working together to capture Butch and Cassidy, this episode felt a little dry in a way. I also feel like the ending was a little lackluster with Bulbasaur saving everything. If it was Gilbert who changed the narrative, I would have probably rated this episode higher. And I'm a little saddened that Gilbert chose Bulbasaur over Squirtle as his starter Pokemon, as I felt like his bond with Squirtle was more highlighted than with Bulbasaur. I honestly think that I'm underrating this episode, but I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I do recognize its greatness, but the overall vibe that the episode gives off was repelling to me.
Another episode surrounded around Oak's lab and Tracy's in here? Hell yeah. The episode revolved around the new trainer in town, Gilbert, receiving his first Pokemon. He was a snobby kid who happened to be the son of the mayor, at least in the dub. I remember there was a theory that Gary was the son of the mayor, and that's why he had access to so many cheerleaders at the start of his journey. What I enjoyed a lot was how much his character changed throughout the span of just one episode. He went from basically being a coward and not really respecting Pokemon, to having a complete trust for them and having his own partner. In a nod to the Hoenn promotion that they've continuously done all throughout the series, when picking his starter Pokemon, he made sure to say that he wanted a Torchic, Mudkip, or Trico. As usual, Tracy shines in this episode, being shown to be an excellent assistant to Professor Oak. He's the one who reminded him that Gilbert was coming to get his first Pokemon today, and also helped track and capture the Charmander. Tracy also told Gilbert on the importance of raising Pokemon. Professor Oak was also phenomenal in this episode, being a great mentor to Gilbert, and showing off how great his character is. We got sprinkled lots of funny and cute moments all throughout the episode with Masae and the interactions with the baby starters, who by the way were super cute. We even got to see all of Ash's Pokemon in Oak's lab in the beginning shots, which was nice to see. Well, actually we didn't see Noctowl, but he's probably out there just chilling somewhere. I'll be giving this episode an 8 out of 10, I genuinely enjoyed it a lot. I'm now seeing I have a very consistent rating for episodes that Professor Oak plays a huge part of, so maybe he's a character I liked more than I thought I did. This was a fun episode of seeing a trainer get his first Pokemon and get more character development in this one episode than Chloe got in the first 100, so sue me.
So yeah, that was a review and recap for episode 14 of Pokemon Chronicles, Journey to the Starting Line. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly suggest you subscribe to both our channels. Links are found in the description below. For the next episode of this review series, that will come out next week on Luap's channel, so you're gonna wanna head over to his channel to check that out. Or if you want, you can click the playlist that we made and find all the episodes neatly there. Until next time, thanks for watching, and the Pichu Bros will gotta catch ya later.
I'm a little confused about this whole situation. Excuse me, Professor, can you help me? Of course I can help. I'm Oak and I live for Pokemon.